A record-breaking 26 million votes. That is the number currently haunting the music industry as we move into the second quarter of 2026. For decades, the blueprint for a real superstar was set in stone by icons like Jennifer, but a massive shift is occurring that has left the old guard scrambling for answers. The rise of Roberts hasn't just been a success story, it's been a total disruption of the Hollywood hierarchy. Tonight, we are digging into the whispers of a changing of the guard that started on a television stage, but has since moved into closed-door boardroom meetings and cryptic social media deletions. Is the legendary Jennifer facing an unprecedented career crossroads just as a new king claims the throne? The evidence suggests that what we're seeing isn't just a passing of the torch, but a full-scale takeover that has industry insiders questioning everything they thought they knew about longevity and loyalty in the spotlight. They said the era of the massive TV superstar was a relic of the past, but they didn't account for a statistical anomaly that just broke the industry's internal compass. In the high-stakes world of professional music, numbers usually tell a predictable story, but the data emerging from the 2025-2026 season has left veteran analysts in a state of disbelief. When Roberts was crowned, it wasn't just a victory, it was an industrial-scale takeover backed by a staggering 26 million individual votes. To put that in perspective, that is a level of engagement that rivals major political movements, and it has sent a clear message to the gatekeepers in Hollywood. The old guard is no longer in control of who becomes a household name. As we move further into 2026, we are seeing the fallout of this mandate. Hasn't just faded into the background like previous winners, he has aggressively occupied the cultural space previously reserved for established icons. Sources within the industry suggest that major labels have been rerouting their A-list marketing budgets, funds that were traditionally earmarked for legacy artists, and pouring them into the Roberts brand. This pivot isn't just about talent, it's about a cold, calculated realization that a new, more cost-effective model of superstardom has arrived. While the public sees a humble PE teacher with a dream, the boardroom sees a powerhouse that can move millions of units without the traditional overhead of a legacy diva. This shift has created a vacuum, and as star rises with vertical momentum, the shadows are starting to grow long over the careers of those who once thought they were untouchable. This unprecedented surge in popularity was the first domino to fall in a sequence that is now threatening the very foundation of the soul music hierarchy. It was supposed to be a standard guest appearance on the Jennifer Show, but the moment the music started, the air in the building turned from celebratory to predatory. When Roberts walked onto the set to perform with the woman who had paved the way for artists like him, the expectations were high for a mentor and student moment. However, what transpired on that stage was anything but. As the two began to trade vocal runs, a palpable shift occurred. Observers in the studio reported that didn't just hold his own. He delivered a performance so raw and technically superior that it seemingly forced the EGOT winner into a defensive posture. For the first time in years, Jennifer looked visibly shaken on her own stage. Viral clips of the encounter have since been analyzed by thousands, with body language experts noting the precise moment the master realized the student had surpassed her. Have surfaced that the production team was forced to utilize clever editing to maintain the show's brand of positivity, as the competitive energy between the two was described by one insider as unnerving. This wasn't just a duet, it was a vocal execution that proved wasn't there to pay respects, he was there to claim the throne. The fallout from this broadcast was immediate, with fans across the country beginning to debate whether Jennifer's reign was officially coming to an end. This televised confrontation served as the catalyst for a series of events that would see Jennifer's team scrambling to protect her legacy against a tidal wave of new-age talent that doesn't play by the old rules. Just as momentum became undeniable, a series of cryptic and concerning updates began to swirl around Jennifer, leaving her global fearing the worst. In the first quarter of 2026, the internet was hit with a wave of devastating news headlines regarding the legendary singer. While the specific nature of these updates remained shrouded in industry jargon, the underlying message was clear: something was very wrong in the camp. Fans noticed a sudden and uncharacteristic withdrawal from the public eye, coinciding exactly with the announcement of his record-breaking podcast and his new role within the American Idol franchise. This led to intense speculation that the sad news wasn't a health crisis, but a professional setback of catastrophic proportions. Whispers from the inner circles of Nashville and Los Angeles suggest that Jennifer had been passed over for a massive multi-year development deal, a deal that was allegedly handed to Roberts on a silver platter. The emotional toll of being replaced by the very system you helped build is a theme that has appeared in Jennifer's recent, often deleted, social media posts. She has spoken vaguely about betrayal and the pain of doors closing, leading many to believe that the industry has initiated a soft offing of her status as the premier voice of her generation. As accusations surface regarding ageism and corporate greed, the contrast between skyrocketing success and Jennifer's mysterious retreat has become the primary topic of discussion in music forums. This period of uncertainty has forced fans to confront a difficult reality. The industry they love is often a cold, transactional machine that has no room for sentimentality when a newer product hit the shelves. While the world was focused on the music, Roberts was busy executing a business strategy that has effectively dismantled the traditional superstar blueprint. In April 2026, Roberts did something that no other talent show winner has ever accomplished. He successfully pivoted from a singer to a platform. His new podcast didn't just debut, it exploded, a level of sponsorship and guest quality that typically takes years to cultivate. This move was a direct strike at the heart of the media landscape, currently dominated by veterans like Jennifer. Industry insiders have revealed that the effect has caused a massive shift in how contracts are being negotiated. Executives are now looking for channel stars who can host, produce, and sing, and fits that mold perfectly. This has left legacy stars in a precarious position. Reports suggest that Jennifer's team has been in crisis mode as they watch potential advertisers and brand partners migrate toward the Roberts camp. The controversy reached a boiling point when a leaked memo suggested that a major network was considering a refresh of their daytime lineup, placing his name at the top of the list for a spot that many believed belonged to Jennifer. This isn't just a rivalry between two singers, it's a full-scale corporate coup where the younger, more digitally savvy artist is being used to phase out the expensive, old-school superstar model. The winner versus real superstar debate is no longer about who has the better range. It's about who owns the future of the medium, and right now, all signs point to the man with 26 million votes in his pocket. Just when it seemed the bridge between these two icons had been burned to the ground, a high-security sighting in a Nashville studio has reignited a firestorm of speculation. In the late hours of a Tuesday night in early April, local residents and paparazzi spotted a motorcade associated with Jennifer arriving at a private, high-security recording facility. Less than 10 minutes later, Roberts was seen entering the same building through a side entrance. This clandestine meeting has set the mill into overdrive. Is this the beginning of a historic collaboration or a desperate attempt at damage control? Some believe that the label, sensing a public relations disaster as fans began to pick sides, has forced the two into a room to create a unity project. However, a more cynical theory is circulating among industry lawyers. It is whispered that these meetings are actually high-level negotiations regarding brand transition and non-disparagement agreements. The stakes are incredibly high. If Jennifer is indeed being phased out, a public endorsement or a joint project would be the only way to ensure her legacy remains intact while she exits the center stage. On the other hand, a collaboration with a legend of Jennifer's stature would provide the superstar validation that a reality show wins simply cannot buy. The atmosphere surrounding these sessions is said to be thick with history and tension as two different eras of music collide in a single room. Whatever the outcome of these secret meetings, the result will likely dictate the narrative of the music industry for the remainder of 2026 and beyond. As the dust begins to settle on this 2026 Showdown, the question is no longer who won, but what we have lost in the process of creating a new king. The story of Roberts and Jennifer is a cautionary tale about the volatility of fame in the digital age. We have watched a humble PE teacher become a global force of nature, but we have also watched a genuine icon face the cold reality of professional obsolescence. While holds the numbers, the voting records, and the new media deals, Jennifer still holds the historical weight of an EGOT winner. However, in a world that moves at the speed of a viral clip, weight can sometimes be a liability rather than an asset. The real superstar is being tested by the viral winner, and the results suggest that the industry's loyalty is always to the next 26 million votes. As we look toward the future, we must ask ourselves if we are comfortable with a system that can offer legends careers simply because a newer model has arrived. The sad news and the unforeseen adjustments are just symptoms of a much larger shift in how we value talent. Whether and Jennifer eventually stand on stage together as allies or remain divided by the corporate walls built between them, the events of this year have fundamentally changed the rules of the game. In the end, the spotlight only has room for one person at a time, and as 2026 moves forward, that light is shining brighter and brighter on Roberts, leaving the legends of the past to find their way in the growing dark. It is a thought-provoking end to a chapter that has redefined what it means to be a superstar in the modern era.